Felipe, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Thank you, brother. All good, and you guys?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, mate. I've had a hard day's training, aching, but yeah, I'm pretty good.
It's part of the game.
Yeah, it is, mate. It is.
How was the carnival that you had last couple of weeks back?
Was calm for me. I really enjoy a lot carnival in Brazil, but nowadays I stay more chill, So I stay in my city, take the time off to work, to train. So it's pretty much a normal vacation for me. Not too much party.
Yeah, nice. And you're training at the moment. Are you training for anything in particular? Do you have any competitions or matches coming up soon?
No, I'm just training to improve, to keep improving. But I'm probably going to compete. I can't say much because it's not lockdown, but I'm probably going to compete in May and June. So let's see how it goes.
Are you allowed to say who against yet?
I have a few names, but nothing confirmed. But there is a few names that I really would like to compete this year. So I'm trying to make this happen, like step by step.
Yeah. Anyone in particular you want to fight?
Victor Hugo, it's a name that I read said on some post-interview fights that would be really nice to face him because he's really good jiu-jitsu, he moved forward, and I am the same, and I think it would be like a really cool fight for the fans, and we never faced each other before because he's a little bit a generation after me on the black belt, and we never faced before. I don't know how is that possible, but it's a match that is must happen.
Yeah, I think it'll be a really good matchup. That I think, just style-wise, like you said, both of your jiu-jitsu is really good guard play and good jiu-jitsu. So it'll be really interesting to see how it like. He's such a big guy as well, isn't he? He's a unit.
Big, yeah, he's big. I think he's like 125 kilos, something like that.
Yeah, he was huge. I think didn't he weigh in at 170 pounds or something in the last one, or something like that? 106.
Victor Hugo.
Yeah.
No, like 275.
275.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, around that. I saw when on his last fight against Nick Roddy, when previews the match, they showed the stats and the information of each fighter, and I put on because here in Brazil we use more kilos.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I translated and was around 120, 125 kilos, something like that. So I'm like 106. It's a lot difference, but I am like on the beginning of the weight class, if you say like ADCC, right? And he's like a top weight class. So we are doesn't matter the difference, we are on the same weight class.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be a really good matchup.
Yeah, how do you think you would approach that match? Do you think you would look to play guard, or would you look to pass?
It's hard to say. Like me and him are very complete. He has a really good guard, really good passing, and good takedowns as well. I think takedowns is not his A game, right? He plays more on the ground, like guard and top. But he did a really. And my game is the same. I play more like guard and passing. But me and him, because of these NoGi events on this grappling growing, right? We have been training a lot of takedowns. So I was able to show off some of my improvements, stand up on the last ADCC. And he was definitely able to show his improvement on his last fight against Nick Roddy. So I think... We very it's very hard to predict how the match gonna be. Like he can choose to pull guard. I can choose to pull guard. He can choose to exchange takedowns. Me either. So I think it can go anyway.
Yeah. It'll be really good. It'll be really good. Yeah.
I think no one knows what to expect, right? A few guys think, Victor Hugo gonna pull. A few guys think, Felipe gonna pull. And we maybe get there and just scrap takedown. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, look forward to that maybe happening. That'd be a good match. I did
sure.
want to ask, because I think it's probably fair to say that you're probably the most credentialed athlete we've spoken to so far on this podcast. So you're the person that's probably won the most things. And I do wonder, when someone has accomplished so much in their career, like what motivates them to keep training and getting better? And is it more medals, or is it these sort of matches?
In my case, I just like in the beginning of my career, I think, man, I need doing that, I need doing this, I need doing that, and nowadays on my career, pretty much I achieve like all titles. So what really motivates me to keep competing, it's because I love jiu-jitsu, I love train, I love this lifestyle, I love prepare for the match. I'm a very competitive guy, so I really like to compete, and I could ask for a better job, is doing what I love. So jiu-jitsu is growing so much. There is so many events now. I just don't see reason for me to stop if I'm doing good.
Yeah, I think it's getting bigger and bigger year on year. And if you stay at the top of the sport, mate, it's only going to be good for you.
Exactly. I wish like the gi could be like so big as NoGi nowadays for professional athletes, because I love the gi as well. But once I choose this professional path, right? Like after win like world titles, Brazilian, Penans, like Europeans. Actually, I never won Penans, but all the other ones, I just going where I just try to go where they sport have more opportunities for as an athlete, So I wish have the same opportunity for me as an athlete in the gi. That would be incredible. So, but anyway, it is what it is. I'm happy. I love doing no gi as well.
Yeah. Do you think that's because of how people look at gi, like from a spectator perspective, that it's not as exciting? Is that why you think maybe gi isn't as popular as no gi?
Yeah, maybe this is one arm of this to explain that, but I think the gi, there is way more people that do jiu-jitsu in the gi than no gi, right? So I think the no gi, it's way easy for who doesn't train jiu-jitsu, maybe a UFC fan or something like that to watch, makes more interesting, more easy to understand, and more sells more. But on the same way, like the gi, there is so much more people that train jiu-jitsu with the gi, people who watch because they train and they do that every day. So there is a big amount of people do that. So I think the gi could sell really good as well. But nowadays, like the gi is very concentrated on IBJJF. So in my opinion, the gi is just going to be so big as no gi if IBJJF start doing these steps. I think can show up all the events and everything like that, but nowadays the main events, which is in my opinion, who is number one for no gi, who is number one, UFC Invitational, One Championship, they more in on the no gi, on the grappling, because of the MMA background and all that. But I think if IBJJF, they have the power because they are a huge organization, right? They do like tournaments pretty much every weekend, anywhere in the world. So I think if they put energy on that and if they want it, they can make like so big as no-gi, especially because if you say like the Grand Slam, just the Grand Slam, if you say like Europeans, Penams, Brazilian Nationals, and Worlds, if they doing like prize money and Worlds no-gi, if they doing just prize, a really good prize money, as the same as who is number one, ADCC, One Championship, UFC Invitational. If they do that, it's like 5 events a year. The athletes, they know they're gonna train really hard in the gi, and they know they're gonna get the prestige, of course. But they know that if they win, they're gonna get. They can live on that. They can have a good pay on that, like 5 times a year. That is already changing the game. So I think it depends more on them.
Do you think they'll ever do that though?
Man, I'm not sure. I don't know. Like, I don't think they give much space for talk with the athletes and know what is going on, what they plans. But I see they're doing like movements, you know, they're doing some professional events and everything. But I don't know if this is they focus, you know, or they more focus on just doing tournaments for hobbyists, you know, for people that compete because they like it, they train, but it's not their main job, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah, we'll see, man. And in regard to different rule sets, what is your preferred rule set?
Man, I really like who's number one rule set because I think, in my opinion, the best rule set is the one they have minimal judge decision. I mean, judge decision not on the end, but judge they can take decisions during the match. You know, interference, that makes sense. Interference, like the judge cannot influence the match. You know what I mean? Guide the decision. Yeah. So that is one of the things for have a really good rule set. And the second thing is about be clear for whoever is watching, right? So if you have so many complicated rule set, makes so hard for someone that doesn't do jiu-jitsu understand. Of course, someone that do jiu-jitsu, they're going to understand easy. Oh, that's a sweep, that's a point, that's a thing. This was not point because of that, and blah, blah, blah. But for jiu-jitsu grow so much, they need to be easy for who doesn't do jiu-jitsu, right? And entertainment, of course, understand the match. So who's number one? I think it's really good because it's 5 minutes, it's 15 minutes. It's only submission, you know, so it's the judges, they don't go into the match so much, you know, because it's only submission what they can do. The max they can do are go outside of the mat or go back. It's pretty much that. And so it's easy for who is outside to understand because, if he submits, he wins. And if no one submits, wins whoever fought better. You know what I mean? So this is easy to see as well. Oh, who was the almost got the takedown? Who got more dominant position? Who almost got the submission? So I think this is easy for who is outside see. And to make it more easy, is a 15 minutes straight match, but every 5 minutes they give the call for who won that round, right? So they say, oh, red, blue. So like this guy won the round, this other guy won the other round. So I think it's a rule set that is easy to understand. So the only thing that I would change would be the pit, you know. If who is number one, the same rule set, but if they put a pit, you know, the pit like you have the walls all over the mats, that would be better as well because the match never stops, right? If you go to the wall, keep going. And nowadays it's a flat mat. So if you go outside of the match, they have to stop, restart, and sometimes doesn't restart on the same position. And because there is no wall, some athletes, they use, depend of the situation, to go out, to go back, you know, to restart. So if it's a pit, the match never stops. So we go back on the same thing that I said before. It will be even less interference from the judge. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hasn't Craig and Karate Combat just patented the wall?
Have they? I don't know.
Yeah. I think they've licensed it now. So if any other events want to use it, they've got to go through them.
Yeah.
Clever move, though.
Yeah.
I saw something like that. Like I think Craig and Karate Combat, right? I think they both won that. I think so. I'm not sure, but I saw some posts about this.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I did see Craig post something like, you're going to have to come through us now, basically, to get anything. But
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, because it is the best way. Like, that's got to be the way forward for these events, surely, because like you just said, stops any stoppages. It doesn't give people as much rest. It's just a lot more intense in the pit, isn't it?
Yeah. And the way it is, it's way better than octagon, because on the octagon, it's hard to do jiu-jitsu, right? You see, like, even MMA, all the guys, when they go to the cage, they stay trapped there. And it's hard to do jiu-jitsu because they put the back on the cage and there's no much space, hard to take the back. But the way it is, the pit, it's like this. It's not like that, right? It's like this.
Yeah.
So you still can do jiu-jitsu on that. So I think that was really smart.
Yeah, definitely. And might we see you in CJI at some point, do you think?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. You have CGI this year in August. It's a team CGI, so I'm definitely looking forward to compete. I definitely want to compete, of course. It's like probably the biggest event of the year. There is no ADCC this year, and I just need to figure out how going to be about the teams, if Gracie Barra going to have the team or not, and how that's going to play out, because it's different than the other events. Not only the athlete, is the whole team, but I really would like to compete, of course.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think the team style of it will be amazing. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be I think it would be probably better than the first one.
Yeah, well, now you've got New Wave in there as well. You can, bar by yourself and a few others, you're going to have, most of the best athletes in the world. So
apart from Gordan, who's come out and said that, what did he say? He'd rather shoot himself in the face and go on CGI.
Is he not doing it?
No, he refused. He said, I'd rather shoot myself in the face and go on CGI.
Yeah. I think you'll be some main teams, like as they have, like some main teams like New Wave and other teams, but I think you have some mixed teams as well. And I think the main teams, maybe they can add someone from outside the team, and you're going to have as well, for what I heard from Craig, you're going to have other teams that is all mixed as well, because a few guys, for example, Andrew Tackett, right? Andrew Tackett and his brother, they fought CGI, and of course they want to support them. I don't know if they have like a main team. I don't know if they from Checkmate or no.
I'm not sure, actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but if they are from Checkmate, they have a main team. But if they train on their own gym that I see, they cannot do a team, have not enough athletes to do a team for the main team. So probably they're going to be part of the mixed team. And let's see how it's going to go.
Yeah, I know the gym that they train at isn't a Checkmate gym, but I don't know if their association is Checkmate. But another guest we had was Pat Downey as well, and he was also helping me get onto the Misfits team.
Yeah, and then you got the English lads and stuff like that, haven't you? Like Owen and people like that who, again, they'd probably be just on like a European Misfits team, I imagine. We'd have a pretty good Misfits team, I think, if it was a European one at the moment.
Yeah, that would be nice. Do a European team, right?
Yeah, I think it will, mate. I think that's what it will end up being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what they just done on Polaris, that type of thing would be pretty cool.
Probably they are thinking on that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it'd be good. It's as far as jiu-jitsu goes, definitely the biggest event that I'm excited about this year.
Yeah, it's probably the only one, really.
Yeah. There's a ton of matches. There's a load of good matches that are coming up.
And like Who's Number One's doing some good stuff in there. And there's some really good matchups, like you said. But as an event, CGI is going to be the one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think because CGI, it's on this format, they can bring together. If you see, I think it's 8 teams, right? 8 teams and five athletes each team, I think so. Mm-hmm. So imagine it's 40 athletes. So gonna be like 40 athletes, like the best 40 athletes in the world. It's different format, like when you do UFC Invitational, Who is Number One, this type of events, I think it's around 6 fights, 8 fights, maybe 5 top fights. So that's like 10 guys, 10 top fights, right? On the CGI it will be like 40. So that definitely brings a lot of attention. Yeah.
Have they released how they're going to do it? Are they doing it like knockout, winner stays on, or is it like going to be matchups per weight? Or I don't know if they've released any of that sort of information, have they? But it'd be cool if they just do it like a winner stays on. Do you know what I mean? Because you end up 2-3 fights in, even if you do it well.
For what I spoke with Craig and Seth, they told me a rule set, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say because I didn't see they announced that.
Yeah.
So.
Am I that far off?
It would be a different format for what I heard. Very different. In my opinion, it's not the best one, to be honest, for what I heard, but it will be definitely entertainment. Always watching.
We're going out to Austin in 2 weeks, so we'll find out then.
Yeah, for sure. You guys train at B Team?
Yeah, we're going out with Dima and the boys.
Yeah, we're going to maybe, we're not kind of fixed to B Team. We've had quite a few of the guys on the podcast, so we're going to go out and train a little bit there, but we might check out Six Blades as well.
Yeah. Get beaten up by Victor.
Yeah.
And Zanji.
Yeah, and then definitely if we can get to train with the Tackets as well, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, it's good because there's so many cool gyms, right, in Texas.
Yeah.
You guys should go to Draculino School. It's really cool as well.
Okay.
I've never heard of that.
No. Is that in Austin?
It's it's Gracie Barra, Texas. Is in Houston.
Yeah, we're going to go Houston.
Yeah, we're going to head up for the space thing. So it'd be good to maybe train while we're there. Yeah, we'll check that out.
Yeah.
We obviously mentioned Gordan Ryan. You've had quite a rivalry with Gordan for a while, and I think you're two apiece at the moment, right?
Yeah, it's we had bad times before. Like if like a really back and forward and personal things before, but I think nowadays we are cool. You know, I think definitely I made him a better athlete. And
you made him a stronger athlete, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely way stronger heavy. Yeah, he made me a better athlete as well. So it's how can I say, it's part of my history. So it's and his history as well. So I think we can take just the good part of that.
Yeah, I think like bullshit aside, it was great seeing you guys compete. And you know, I wanted to ask where you felt you were at with that rivalry now, but obviously just competitively. You know, obviously he's had the most recent wins, but you've got the sub over him. You know, it's 2 each, I believe. So, yeah, I don't know. Do you think there'll ever be a fifth match between you two?
Man, I think it's a must. You know, on my opinion, it's a must because I won the 2 first one, he won the 2 last one, but both are very polemic, if you can say that. The first one was not in a good time, and the second one, the points was very polemic. And we had like on the four match, we had such a really good technical fight, right? Was so good, all the fights. So it's 2-2 now, and we definitely have at least one more to put the point on the history, you know?
Yeah, I think you got to do it, haven't you? Settle the score, see who's there. Yeah,
exactly. I think it's 2-2, so we definitely have another one. And for what I spoke to him and I heard, he really wants to do it as well, but he just wants to figure out about his healthly and stuff. I don't know much details, but he said the only problem is his healthy. So if he feels healthy, he's down to do it, and I might too.
Yeah, that'd be great. And you kind of said how you both kind of made each other better athletes, and I joked about the strength thing because I think after the first match, I heard him say that, you know, he felt your strength and then obviously got a lot bigger and stronger. And the other thing that I just wanted to ask as well, I hope you don't mind, but it always made me laugh, but when you kept calling him a chubby baby, I think between that and calling him and teasing him, I think obviously that turned him into the absolute giant that he ended up being. But where did that come from? Why were you saying that? I never knew.
because there is a time that he got really strong, but he got chubby as well. And then he got strong and he got chubby. And now from the last time, he's really strong, but I think now he's not training so much. He's getting chubby a little bit as well. So, so that's why about chubby. And my little baby is because by the time I said this, I beat him 2 times, so kind of like he's my son, my chubby baby. That's where I came from. Now I can't say more baby, just, because he beat me 2 times as well. So, but he cannot say that anyway as well. But maybe if I want to get him mad, I say again.
Yeah, he definitely reacted to it. It was very funny to watch.
Oh, I'd never seen that. I didn't know you said that. No, I'd never seen that.
Yeah, he was making memes and everything with his face on babies and all sorts.
Oh, really? I must have went back and forth loads.
I think that people really like that, right? I think trash talk, if you got in a point, it's not personal, but you make jokes and you say what you really think. Both athletes say what you really think. And you don't get anything personal because don't cross the line. That is only good, But that's the thing's hard. People cross a lot the line, and when takes personally, in my opinion, create just a bad energy between the athletes and the fight and everything. I don't like much that, but I don't run away from that. If the guy starts, I fight back as well. But I think if you keep it like cool, just in a good vibe, like make fun, and of course you can say, I'm gonna submit and they're gonna do that, I'm way better, this type of things. If you actually think that it's not fake, it's okay. It's good. People like it.
Yeah, I think it's good for jiu-jitsu as a whole, having that sort of rivalry, because that gets everyone talking. I think the only difference with it compared to MMA is that with MMA, you get all your frustration out because you punch them in the head a lot. But with jiu-jitsu, you don't kind of get the same satisfaction. You still get satisfaction beating them, but it's not quite the same satisfaction as like what Khabib done to Conor. Do you know what I mean? Where he literally just fucked him up, and it's a little bit different,
It's not the full package, but it's definitely in jiu-jitsu have, I don't know, maybe 50%, 60% of that package, because depending of the fight, you can make your opponent really bad, you can smash him, make him circle, get in a good position and get the submission in the end, and that's a big package. But of course, it's not the same as punch, kick, this type of thing, ground and pound. It's a full package.
Yeah, definitely. And Felipe, I just wanted to get into your training a little bit, because obviously, as I say, you've achieved amazing things, and I always like to just delve into how you've acquired such skill, and how you've achieved the things that you have, and how you've trained in your mindset and everything else. I mean, what do you think the best way to acquire skill in jiu-jitsu is? What's your opinion of that?
Man, I think it's way more simple than what people think, I think, of course, you need to train really hard, you need sacrifice a lot of things, do that constantly, right? With consistency, and in a good and in a smart way. Of course, if you just go there and scrap every single day, you're gonna get hurt. You're not gonna improve a lot. So, but if you do it in a smart way, doing techniques, doing specific training, with the right methodology, with of course have a teacher or a coach to give you the training, to help you, the right training partners, and go to the gym every day, sacrifice what you need to sacrifice that takes you far away from what you want to achieve, and have consistency, you're going to improve. There is no much secret. I don't consider me as a very talent young athlete, you know. So I think if I made it, everyone can make it, you know. I was like very chubby, very lazy, and no sports at all. Like hard to get the things, you know. And nowadays I get the things very easy, you know. I create things very, very easy. So I just I think was back in the day I didn't have the right mentality, and I didn't know so much as I know nowadays on how to train, how to be smart training the best way. But I was very hard work athlete, you know. So I think the hard work it's the main thing, you know. Don't give excuses. Do what you have to do.
Yeah, great. And why did you start jiu-jitsu? So you said you were, you know, a sort of lazy, chubby kid. And then you just also said that hard work got you to where you are. So what was that switch? Like, how did you start jiu-jitsu and start training so hard? What was the mindset?
Man, I started jiu-jitsu because of my old brother, Augusto Tio Chico. He was an active athlete on the purple, brown, and a few years on the black belt. He was a world champion at IBJJF, purple or brown, and the other one he got second. And he beat many guys. He beat Sergio Moraes. He beat all the many top athletes that were world champion black belt back on the day. And he is like 6 years older than me. So I was around 14 years old, and I was giving some troubles outside home. I can say that. And I was like no sports at all, you know, just very lazy. And my mom and my dad told my brother, hey, Guto, we call him Guto. Hey, Guto, need to bring Felipe to the gym, you know, the right path to sports and everything. And I always admired my brother, you know, as an old brother. I was like follow up him so much, you know, and I went, but when I went, I didn't like much because of that. I was lazy. I didn't do much sports. So, but everyone received me very well in the gym, which is Grace Bar BH. It's the gym that it's Draculino, where I told you guys, from Texas. He is the master, the main, you know, head coach professor from the gym. And everyone received me very well, and my brother, and I always like to go to the training to talk, you know, to do resenha, what they call here in Brazil. I just go to sit on the wall and talk, make fun of each other, blah, blah, blah. But the sparring, I didn't like much. So Draculino told my brother, hey, my nickname is Preguiça. Preguiça means sloth in English, the animal. So Draculino told my brother, hey, Tio Chico, your brother is so lazy. He just come here and talk. Every chance he has to go to the wall and he doesn't train. I'm going to give him a nickname of Preguiça, Sloth. And in Brazil, people give a lot of nicknames, kind of like a bully. Like if was anywhere, I don't know, United States, many people go to have serious how can I say, that would be not nice, this culture. But in Brazil, like, people do bullying, but it's a healthy bullying, you know. Anyways, for some people,
it's the same in the UK. Like, we're very, we get on by just taking the piss out of each other and just bullying each other pretty much.
In Brazil, you say, a gente perde o amigo, mas a gente não perde a brincadeira. That means, like, we lose the friend, but we don't lose the joke, you know?
We used to have a Brazilian guy that trained with us over here for a bit, and he used to nickname everybody. And a friend of mine was like really sweaty.
Uh-huh.
I think he nicknamed him, I think it was like Sorboso or something. It meant greasy because he was like so sweaty. So he gave him that nickname. So I'm familiar with it. It was funny, man.
Yeah. And the only nickname that stick is the one that you don't like. Is the one that's bad nicknames, you know? Yeah. So when Draculino gave me this nickname, I said, hey, Draco, no, give me another nickname, a cool nickname, Monster, Hook. I don't know how I'm going to go to the tournament. You guys going to say, go Preguiça, go Sloth. And people, when I said that, people just thought Preguiça. And got in love with jiu-jitsu, and I started to improve, started competing. I lost my 10 first tournaments, but I enjoy training. I love jiu-jitsu after a few months. And then I start training more and more and more and more. Compete, lose, compete, lose, compete, lose, compete, lose. But after a while, every time I lose, I go back to the gym, go back home and say, what I can do more, what I can do more, what I can add on my training, what I can improve. And by one day, I start winning, and keep doing that. So that's why I start.
That's class.
Yeah. And, sometimes, there's sometimes a sort of a debate around sort of how often people should compete. But it sounds like competing quite often and those losses taught you a lot.
I think it's depends a lot about the time of that. I think there is time of your career that is very important. You compete a lot, to get experience, to learn, to get make confidence, to understand the opponent, to get comfortable on the competition. This time is very important. But at the same time, I sometimes say to my student, man, you competing like every weekend. Every weekend you compete, you take like 1 day or 2 days off before. After you compete, if you're really sorry to do a lot of fights, maybe you get a little bit hurt, you rest more 1-2 days. So if you compete almost every weekend, how you going to train and improve, because on the what you main going to improve is on your training, if you have the right methodology, learn techniques, do specific training, repeat, go there consistency every single day, so I think depends on what part of your journey you are, but so sometimes it's very good to compete a lot. Sometimes it's better you take a few time, go to the gym, go to the cave, train every single day, and it'll be better for you to improve technically.
Yeah, that makes sense. And in regard to sort of the best amount of training, would you suggest training like every day and once, twice, 3 times a day? What do you think's best?
For professional athletes?
Or somebody trying to be a professional athlete, yeah.
Yeah. For someone that have the goal to be like the best, the professional athletes, they need to train for sure like 3-4 times a day, especially on the blue belt, purple belt, brown belt. After you get to the black belt, you really have a really good knowledge about jiu-jitsu. You have your game fixed. You can start like train a little bit less and smarter, But for me, how will you say that in English? Like a chave virou, tipo assim. The main break time of my career was when I was training like every single day, 4 times a day, really, really, really hard, get sick, train, hurt, training. But I always get to the competition really tired or hurt or something like that. But that was what make my mentality really tough. You know what I mean? If I didn't overcome that, didn't have this time to train like crazy, like cycle training, I think I would not have the tough mentality that I have today. But nowadays, I train 2-3 times a day. But I train 2 times a day, but one time of this training, I do 2 trains straight. So I normally train like 2.5 hours in the morning, a very complete training, and 1.5 hour on the night, which is like not enough to get in high level if you are blue, purple, brown belt, in my opinion, I already got there, how to train, I understand a lot. I have way more things to do that I didn't have back in the day. Back in the day, my only goal was compete, be athlete, rest, train, sleep, eat, and nowadays it's different. So I still can perform really good training, less, but consistently.
And those sessions, what do you do in those sessions, like in regard to like what does your warm-up look like, and is there technique and then positional sparring, then full sparring? What does it normally look like?
I create a full methodology here for my competition class, which is the long class that I do in the morning, and every day is different, to be honest. But we have it's very complete. We have a lot of technical part. We do a lot of techniques. Some days I show the technique. Some days another athlete show this specific system that he do really well. Another days a wrestling coach do the technical part. And we do a lot of drills. We do a lot of specific training. Some days we don't even do sparring. We do more specific. Another days we do sparring. So change every single day, to be honest. But it's very complete. It's very they have everything: technique, specific training with positional training, drill, sparring. If you take the whole week, you're gonna do everything.
Yeah, nice. And with the sparring, what level of intensity do you normally use? Are you doing like competition rounds, or is it more flow rolling?
In the morning, because it's competitional class, there is so many tough athletes that I try to choose the toughest athletes to go 100%, to go hard and simulate a competition, But on the night that I train more on our business class, commercial class, I go way more flow, So I go through the students, of course. I choose I try to choose the ones that I like to train, that are more technical, that are more strong, or that are similar to my weight. But it's very mixed, So I do more hard on the morning and more light, more flow on the night.
Yeah, that's good. And what's your split of different types of training in regard to like strength and conditioning and recovery and that type of thing? Do you do much of that?
I do physical training 3 times a week. If I have competition, I do 4 because I do Sunday as well. And I take very serious the recovery. Everything I think that can help me, I do, because I am 26 years old now, so I'm a little old. I'm 33.
How old are you, 26?
No, he's not.
Oh, I was going to say, fucking hell, he's like time machine.
No, I'm 33. So I want to compete max I can. So I put ice bath in the gym. I put sauna in the gym. So 3 times a week I do sauna with ice bath. And I do physiotherapy. I do massage when I'm in the camp. I try take very serious my sleep, especially when I have a fight. If I feel tired, I sleep on the afternoon as well to recover for another sesh. And yeah, I try my physical training. There is many things that is not to get stronger, to get explosive, or but to avoid injuries. So the food, of course, the diet as well. I try to have a balanced diet to help my recovery, to help my performance. But and I think I'm doing well because I'm 33 years old and I never had surgery in my life. So
it's good going.
Good, yeah.
I had many injuries, of course, but not only an injury that I had to do surgery. So this is very hard because I have been training really hard since I am like 14, 15 years old. And I have been competing more than, I don't know, around 18 years. And you see all the time athletes, they do surgeries and everything. So I think that's because I take serious of that. and maybe a little bit of luck as well.
Yeah, that's really good going that you've not had surgery in that time with the level of competition that you've done, for sure. And then when you compete, does your training change much if you've got a fight coming up in maybe, I don't know, 8 weeks time versus no fight coming up? Is there much of a difference?
Change because the intensity of the training, when I have a fight, of course, the intensity of training, I always push more, I always do a little extra, I always eat better, I always do the recovery better, I always focus more on my sleep, focus more on my food. So definitely change. But I try to, when I don't have competition or don't have any fights coming up, I try to keep training, make sure to keep improving technically, make sure to keep learning. But I take the time, some time extra that I don't have the energy and the time to do that when I have training, to do things that I have to do outside my athlete life. So I put my business in order. I put the things that I have to do in life personal in order. So when I have the competition, I can focus 100% on the fight, and everything that takes part of that.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. That's great. And the actual competition day themselves, so when you are competing and you're there on the day, do you have any rituals or anything that you do before competing to get your mind and your body right?
Yes, I normally do a lot of visualization. I started doing that, I don't know, maybe 2 years from now, 2-3 years from now, thanks to my physiologic, how you say that?
Psychiatrist or psychologist?
Yes, sportive psychologist. Carlão, sem dar raio to Carlão. Tamo junto, Carlão. But he teach me to do that. And so I do a lot of visualization. I try put meditation on my routine, And there is some things that I do on the day of the competition that is more like superstição, There is a few things that I always do the day and maybe on the competition before getting on the mats. That's more like superstitious for me, but superstition. But actually, I already spoke this with my Carlão, this physiologist, that helps that definitely helps me as well, because when I do these things, give me more calm, give me more confidence. I put on the zone. I get in the zone.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then, in regard to tactics for matches, do you go in with like a really clear idea of what you want to try and do, or do you just initiate something and then go with the flow?
I always go with some strategic or tactic, especially when it's like super fight, because it's way more easy for you. Just have like one opponent, one fight, so you have time to study the opponent, you have time to think what they do really good, how you can avoid that, what you do really good and maybe it can work well against him. So I think about my opponent game, my game, for his game, and some tactics as well, especially to begin the match. It's I don't recommend you go to the match without knowing and do visualization without know what you're gonna do, especially in the beginning of the match. You go there and just, I'm gonna take down, I'm gonna try to take down, I'm gonna pull guard, I'm gonna, of course, not always go as you plan, and that's when start, to go out of your strategy and everything. But you definitely should have a strategy or a plan, especially on the beginning of the match. So, but when it's like a big tournament, for example, IBJJF tournament, it's hard for you to do that because there is so many guys, and maybe you can study and do that for your first match. which the bracket probably come out, I don't know, 1 day before, 2 days before. You have a few time to do that, but you never know how gonna be the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. Sometimes you expect the athlete A be on the semifinal, but the athlete A lost to another athlete. So it's kind of hard to do that when you have a tournament. You can do for specific guys, that the favorite ones that you really think you're gonna face, but in general, it's way more harder.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And when you think about all of the things that you've won, all of the people you've competed against, are there any that stand out? Is the one that you're kind of most proud of, or that you felt you achieved the most in? Anything that stands out?
And I think against there's a few matches that I think it's really important on my career, and I'm really proud of it, of course, as well. Some are even lost. But it's important in my career, and some of the matches that I like it. There is a match against Leandro Lo in 2013, January 2013, in Copa Pódio, which was a tournament that was really big here in Brazil, same as BJJ Stars nowadays. And I fought him first in 2012 as a brown belt, and he was a black belt on a GP that Copa Pódio did. And I fought him, and he was the man. I was just a coming up athlete, and we draw the match. It was a draw. No one won. And then Copa Pódio did a super fight because of that. Me against him, and was my first match as a black belt, and was the match that I got more tired in my entire career, because and I was very, very prepared. But Leandro, he doesn't stop as well. So I swept him, I got 2 points, and I was winning I pull guard, I was winning on the guard by 2 points. And with around 4 minutes match, and was a 10-minute match. And the rest, 6 minutes, Leandro tried to pass. And he got on my side many times, and I pushed him, and he didn't do the points. And when was missing 2 seconds for the match end, he passed my guard. And 2 seconds. But I was so exhausted that he passed, and I looked to the judge, and he gave the points really fast. And when I saw he give the points, I just did a move, And after this match, I was laid down, and he was laid down the match, and the judge had to carry us, to give the victory for him, and he didn't even celebrate, because me and him, we were so tired. And I went to the toilet, carried by my friends, and put a shower on me. And after 5 minutes, when I looked to the side, he was doing the same thing, on the shower. And after that, we got really, really friends. And he said, "Man, I don't want to compete anymore. I'm exhausted." And I said, "Oh, me too." And we compete after, but we got really friends. So that is one. Against Gordan, on the final of the open weight ADCC, is definitely one fight really important for me, because it's always was my dream be a absolute ADCC champion, and I got that. And facing Gordan the final as well, beating him for the second time was really cool, especially because my brackets on the open weight was so hard. I fought Bochecha on the semi. I fought Victor Hugo, which he was on fire by that time. And Gordan submit everyone, on this tournament. So was just a perfect tournament for me on the open weight. So this one was really important. And what else? There is a fight against Herbert Santos on the Europeans 2016, I think, 16 or 17, which on the beginning of the match, he gave me arm lock. And he a really tight arm lock. And he popped my arm so many times But because we had the beef outside of the match, he talked, I'm going to submit Felipe on less than 3 minutes and everything. He talks many things. It was really personal for me. And on my head, I mean, I can break everything. I can sleep, but I'm not going to tap for this guy, you know. And he popped my arm many times. It's a very cool video. And I got out from the arm lock and I was able to submit him on the end with just one arm. So this was the whole gymnasium was like down, and all the crowd of the Europeans is crazy, right? It's the same of Brazilian nationals here. The crowd is very warm and people screaming and everything. So this was one of my favorite matches as well. If I could choose 3, I would choose these 3. There is more, but cool. If I could 3, this is the ones.
No, that sounds epic, man. And yeah, you've obviously had an amazing career and it's still ongoing. So we look forward to future matches as well. We'll let you go in a second, Felipe, because we know you need to shoot. But did you want to shout out any friends or any sponsors or anything before you go?
Of course, my sponsors, Tatami, the best. Thanks, Ty. Thanks, everyone, for the support. My sponsor, BPS Capital, here from Brazil, a company from my friend Leo. And all my team, Gracie Barra, thank you all for the support. And my school, of course, Gracie Barra, Felipe Preguiça, all my students, and my Gracie Barra Cabral as well, and everyone from Gracie Barra. Thank you all for the support.
Awesome, Felipe. Really appreciate your time, mate.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. My pleasure.